Hey, so I want to show you how to make Ableton control your Mastermind. You might be able to use some of these things to kind of like get there with another thing. Like if you have like a digital, modeler like Kemper or Quad Cortex or Axifx or something. But I don't have those things, so I'm going to tell you how to do it specifically with the Mastermind. So first on the Mastermind end of things, you need to open your editor, and there's a MIDI tab here towards the end. And what you first have to do is set a receive channel. I don't think there's a global setting for this. I don't think so. So within MIDI, you have to set a receive channel. I just picked 16 because it's the last one in the list. And then this is important. I'm in song and preset mode as far as MIDI goes because I have songs and then presets within those songs. And so my messages are going to be based on songs and presets. So that's all on the Mastermind end. Then on the Ableton end of things, if you're in live, there's settings you got to do first in this too. So you want to go into preferences in live and look in the MIDI folder here. And then you obviously have to make a physical connection between the two things. So USB from the Mastermind to your computer one way or another so that those two things can see and talk to each other. And so once you can see that, you need an output set. And so if you're connected properly with USB, you should be able to see the outputs. And so I just chose Mastermind as an output. And then you have to turn track on. I don't exactly know why. That's just the way you have to do it. So make sure that track is on for that output and that you set the output for the Mastermind. After that, you need to make a MIDI track, which I've already done, but if you haven't, you want to go create a MIDI track right here, and it gives you one with some things that you can set. So I'm going to delete this one since I already have one in there. For the MIDI track, the only thing you really have to set is you have to pick Mastermind from your output list, and then the channel that you set up inside the settings on the Mastermind, which was channel 16. I think you can set it to do, I don't know. So then in your Ableton session, what you want to do is you just want to set up a MIDI, what do they call it? A MIDI clip, which instead of capturing, you can just do by selecting the place where you want to send a MIDI command. So let's say this place where it's, and you can drag them around wherever after the forge. And then you hit create, insert MIDI clips. And that gives you a window to edit what that MIDI clip does. And instead of notes, you want to come down to this section right here where it says program change. And that's what you want to be doing. So if you are in song and set list mode than I am, the sub number is the song that you want to, it's the number of the song in the Mastermind that you want to do. And the program changes are which presets you've set up within that song. So like, let's say, scooting back over to the Mastermind here, let's look at songs. So like, let's say this song right here, song number 3, I've set up 3 presets in that. So if I want to hit preset, I want to hit song number 3, bank, you can either leave blank or just set to bank 1. You can just click this and type in. So I want sub 3, and let's say I want preset 1. That's going to bring up preset 1 in song 3 at this point in the song. And so what I've done with that is I've set up several in this thing right here, and you'll kind of hear the audio be going anyway when it goes here, but I'll give you a view of the Mastermind here so you can kind of see. Let's see, what's this one? This one's going to be preset 3, and this one's going to be preset 5 inside this song. And I'm just going to move them closer together so that you can see them change quickly instead of waiting through a lot. But that means when I start playing this, like right now, if you look at the surface of the Mastermind down there, there's the green means that no presets are currently selected, or there's just a different one that's selected somewhere. And then let's do 3 and let's do 4 for this one, because then you'll be able to see it a little bit more easily. So when I click this in the Mastermind and you start to hear the music go, then it's going to send, first it's going to send in the song that I'm on, it's going to want preset 3. And then when it reaches this point here, it's going to switch to program 4. So you can watch that happen and just watch what the Mastermind does. See, it changed to preset 3. And now as it goes on, you'll watch it when it gets to this next green block here. You're going to watch on the Mastermind. Preset 4 is going to light up instead. So there's a lot that you can do with it, especially when running a Mastermind. You can literally you can play your instrument and never touch your board, and it can go to whatever presets that you want it to go to. It does involve a good bit of programming at the beginning. Another note, depending on how far you're running your USB cables, because you do need a USB physical connection. I think they're limited to 15 feet or something like that. If you're not that close to where your Ableton is, then there is something called I think it's called like a repeater cable that you have to buy. And I'll put a link down below for that to cover greater distances. But I bought a repeater that's maybe 25 feet long, and then I have a couple feet cable coming out of that. And it's worked fine in a live context also. So in theory, you could also do that with a hub, and you could link multiple devices and have Ableton have different MIDI tracks here talking to Masterminds on different channels. Or units on different channels. I haven't done more than one yet, but in theory, it totally works. So that's a little bit complicated, and there's a couple other tricks I've learned through the whole thing, but that should at least get you started with doing it. But if you got questions or anything, just leave it in the comments and let me know, and hopefully that is helpful for you as it was for me. Kind of a hybrid of information from doing some research and then digging in and figuring out the rest. So like I said, leave a question if you got it. See ya.